Hello everyone and welcome back to Forza Motorsport. Today we're taking part in a series, but only doing one round here. I'm joining as a wildcard for the second round of this Auto Balance Championship. Now, the way this works is everyone started off by building cars to 490 PI for the first round. Then, for the second round here, everyone got to upgrade their cars to a set PI depending on where they were in the championship. Those at the bottom of the championship would get more PI to help them catch up to those at the front. So, the leader of the championship only upgraded to 505 PI, whereas we're coming into this championship having not competed in the first round with 525. Of course, everyone throughout the standings is split between that field, so we do have a little bit of an upper hand on everyone here, but it might not necessarily, but it's not too much of an upper hand. As we complete our qualifying lap here, as you can see, we're at Yas Marina South in some wet conditions. This qualifying session was getting drier throughout, so it was essentially a one-lap shootout at the end, and we would finish in P8. You can see there all the times and all of the PIs that everyone is working with, depending on where they finished in the first round. So starting at P8, let's head now to the first race. We've got two races of 19 laps if you discount the formation lap, one mandatory pit stop in all races, and we get away here, get good launch immediately up to P7 as sort of the person on our inside was slacking a little bit. We're looking to the inside of the long turn 1 here. That obviously makes up the final sector of the GP circuit, but pretty much the entire track here in the south layout. We don't quite hold on to the potential P6 there, and we drop back a little bit as we get into the hotel section. Everything concertinaing up as we get into the right-hander here. Close up, look to the outside, just trying not to sort of punt anyone off at this stage. See if we can, as we just try and sell in, but also trying not to lose any of the position, especially to the car that we jumped off the line that was alongside us. Dropping back a little bit from the cars in front. Of course, we're sort of yet to see how our car stacks up, what strengths and weaknesses are compared to everyone around us. Of course, Yas Marina South, more of a handling based circuit with the technical section that makes up the hotel section, but we do have this longer start-finish straight that leads into T1. We seem sort of fairly balanced straight line speed, at least for this initial example. One of the cars there, the Nissan, running a bit wide, has two cars up its inside, and they're three wide coming out of the long left-hander into the triple right-hander now. Stevie trying to look for a place as people are sort of getting all close together, and this is going to allow us to catch back up as we get into this middle section. The Nissan Hordes finding themselves on the outside once again, dropping even further back, has now dropped down to 6th place and will be the next car to try and make an overtake here. We're looking to the inside of the final corner. However, we decided it's still early on in the race. We're just going to back out of this one and play it patiently, and Hortz has actually got to dip off to pit lane to take their mandatory stop. No pit window, so you can take your pit stop whenever you want. So we jump forward a couple of laps to the end of lap 5 by the lap counter, and we see another car heading to pit lane, but we've closed in a bit to Stevie. You can see Stevie is running Forza Aero on their car, and it is holding them back in a straight line here. We get slipstream, we move to the inside. We're going to get in front by the braking zone, but Stevie's going to try and come back round the outside. Will they have the grip and be able to carry the momentum? Not quite. We just slot in front. We can plant the throttle, hold on to the rear end as it slides around, sort of searching for traction in these wet conditions, but we hold on to that P3 currently, but of course we do have to make that pit stop, so it's not a net P3 as we see the car in front of us. Steve running deep into the right-hander. Stevie going for a cutback though, see if they can get back past us, but it's not working out here. Again, they just don't quite have the grip, and we're closing in on the RX-7 here through the hotel section that seems to be really struggling. If they're sort of struggling for pace here, I'm thinking, hang on, I don't really want to get held up too much. I don't think I've lost too much time this lap, so, and Stevie sort of cut back under us coming on to the start finish straight, so we decided to go for the pits and take an early pit stop to try and get some cleaner. As we're heading down pit exit here, we've got 2 cars just to bypass us that were in front of us before we pitted. So we haven't really lost position. We've gained a position to the Nissan though. That is a couple of seconds behind us, so they're really struggling for pace. But they are that car with 505 PI, the lowest PI car in the field. So it makes sense that they're struggling for pace since we have a 20 PI advantage on them. But we're closing up to the Aston Martin here in the middle sector, which seems to have maybe a little bit more speed than us, but straight line speed that is, but we seem to have a little bit more grip through the middle sector here as we head to the final corner. Just not getting too ambitious on the brakes. Don't want to make sure we don't just fire ourselves into the back of them. But as we come onto the straight here, you can see they get the power down decently well, and yeah, just start driving away and the gap opens up a bit. So we cut a little bit further forward now, again coming into the hotel section where we're going to have a little bit more grip and see if we can make a place up. I should mention the rain is at its heaviest now in this middle portion of the race, and is set to dry up a little bit towards the end of the race. We're trying to get a cut back here, which we just about do. We're slightly alongside, but not sufficiently alongside. We're going to have a little lick to the inside, but not quite enough on the brakes. The Aston leaves us the room though, so we sort of let off the brakes, let the car roll into that space, but we don't have the acceleration on the exit. So we have to tuck back into the slipstream. The Nissan behind starting to close up on us, but hopefully we're that little bit closer this time and we can maybe make a move on this next lap. One more car coming out of pit lane, that's Stevie, who we did get in front of before we made our pit stop, but sort of stuck behind the Aston here. Stevie's been able to jump back in front of us, pitting a bit later. The Aston getting stuck behind Stevie just a little bit, does compromise their run and allows us to be quite close. We're trying to open up the sort of second right-hander here, see if we can get to the inside. The Aston just holding a slightly tighter line, trying to close that door off. So we're not going to get impatient. We're just going to try and see if we open up a better opportunity, see if we can cut back to the inside, get to the inside here. Not quite, didn't quite have enough grip for that. You can see we have a little bit more grip, a little bit more traction through this hotel section, but not quite able to get alongside, closing up in the braking zone. But yeah, not quite close enough to make a send down the inside just yet. But we're even closer. We're going to get a full slipstream tow down the start-finish straight this lap, as we are sort of halfway through the race now. And we're continuing to just pile the pressure on into turn one once more, closing up in the braking zone, and there the part of the corner, taking a slightly wider line, see if we can get better traction. The Aston pulls away a little bit in the middle of the corner. We try and bring it back on the exit, but we just don't have the power and acceleration once again. But maybe being a little bit further back will give us an opportunity here into the hotel sections. We're just able to carry a little bit more speed into this section before we get onto the rear bumper, but not quite close enough, not quite having the overspeed on the Aston. And yeah, we're just losing a little bit of time to the cars in front, a little bit of time to the Nissan behind as well, but not getting frustrated, not getting impatient, which is the main thing. Try and get the bar exit here. We hold a tighter line. The Aston sliding a little bit as it runs a little bit wider. It does eventually still get the power down once again, and it will pull away once more. So as we cut forward a couple of laps once again, heading into the hotel section, you can see we are catching up to a little bit of traffic here. A couple of cars that haven't pitted, but sort of are that much slower that we've managed to catch up to them despite having taken our pit stop. The Aston a little bit compromised here. We try and carry a bit more momentum. We're just going to get alongside here, but the Aston, of course, is going to be on the inside of the car in front. Doesn't quite get alongside, so we're going to try and hold it around the outside here. It's probably not going to be for anything really with the acceleration or lack of that we have coming out of the final corner. So we just tuck into slipstream. Really, we want to try and get past this red car without losing any time. But unfortunately, even with Forza, they have a little bit more straight line speed than us. We drop back a car's length, but we're going to try and have a little look up the inside. The red car's just about going to leave us space, and we're just going to make sure we slot ourselves in there and take the place, not to lose any time on the Aston Martin. The red car's not able to sort of cut back in due to a bit of overlap with the Aston Martin there. So yeah, that allows us to follow the Aston through nicely enough, and we continue putting the pressure on the Aston seeing if we can get an opportunity. The Aston a little bit wider, but we didn't quite have the grip to sort of tuck underneath the Aston. We do here, we put the power down, we slightly get our bumper alongside, but it's not enough. And we're going to slot back in line for the final corner. There's no point going for a dive into the final corner. It'll just compromise our exit and we'll be even further back than where we were. It'll just sort of lose us time. There's not much point in that. So we tuck into the slipstream once more. See, there's still a couple of cars up front that have to make their pit stops, but it's only 1 or 2 at this stage. So if we won't get top 5, we're really going to have to try and get past car guy here in the Aston. We give them a little bump in the first corner, and shows that maybe they're struggling a little bit more this lap. Maybe we're just having a little bit more grip, and this is sort of kind of where I felt like the rain just eased off a little bit and the track started to get a little bit dry and we had a little bit more grip. You can see easily taking a much tighter line, significantly opening up the left-hander here. We get alongside, we get to the inside, and we leave the Aston room on the exit as it tries to around the outside, uses its power to come back a little bit. We'll be side by side. It has a slightly more compromised line in the braking zone here, but we're going for the tighter line through the hairpin. Use the space on the exit, try and come back to cover off the inside, but the Aston has just about got its nose there alongside, so we have to give it space on the inside. Don't be side by side as we head down to turn 1. The Aston again using its power to get in front, and we're actually going to slow behind. Aston holding a defensive line into T1, so we're going to try and send it around the outside. Of course, we've never been this close to the Aston through T1, so this has been our best opportunity through here yet, and we just about do hold it alongside, using the momentum we carried through the corner to try and edge ourselves in front. So we come into this braking zone. The Aston's not going to have a grip again. We're going to hold a slightly tighter line, much like the Aston did to us earlier this race, to make sure it doesn't fire back up the inside. And yeah, from there, once we got in front in this lighter rain, we were able to pull clear of the Aston as we were just able to use a little bit more grip. We closed in on Stevie, but we ran out of laps to take back that position. We'd have settled for a P5 in the end. Very good going, up 3 positions from where we started in P8. That solid race, and who knows, it might have been better that, you know, the RX-7 that we got stuck behind finished P2, so maybe a bit of a wrong strategy pitting earlier there. But yeah, that is of course with hindsight. Second race here, 19 racing laps once again, but this time we have a reverse grid. No PI changes, no car changes at all for this race to keep things running smoothly, but just a reverse grid, meaning we have a lot of work to do here, but a lot of potential for some good racing here. Of course, everything concertinaing us up as we have all the quick cars at the back, or all the quick drivers I should say at the back, and all the lesser experienced drivers, let's say, at the front. We're trying to look to the inside. We've already got past the Aston. We were stuck behind last race, trying to get past Grumples on the inside, which we just about do, but Grumples is trying to come back through the hotel section. We're going to leave them space as we try and hold it around the outside, getting stuck behind another car guy here in a different car, but we've managed to hold it around the outside, get in front, yeah, sort of come across the bumper of Grumples to try and give us the inside for the hairpin here. See a couple of cars getting Forza glued together on the outside of the hairpin, and that gives us a few free positions up to P11, but Grumples is trying to come back around the outside of the hairpin, has got the power down and has much more straight line speed than us, pulls way clear, even with Forza Arrow is looking to the inside, 3 wide into T1 with Grumples on the inside, but they are the first car to break. The Sylvia try and get in front in the middle. Aaron on the outside drops back a little bit. We try and get to the inside of Aaron and almost the outside of Grumples to try and make it 3 wide again, trying to slot in between here as we're all looking for the inside of the right-handers here. Grumples caught up behind Hordes a little bit, leaves the inside open, so we're going to send down the inside, just about pull the car up before running into Hordes, who goes for a cutback on one of the cars in front of them, and then we go around the outside of another car into the section. They try and make it 3 wide again, which wasn't very wise, but we just about hold on. A little bit of contact, but luckily none of us we all get away from it into the hairpin game. We're going to try and get to the inside of the sort of rainbow coloured car here. We're side by side, a little bit more acceleration than them. and a bit more than the Sylvia too. Sylvia's going to leave the inside open if we want to take it for now, but they're actually got a great round car, really struggling for straight line speed there. Allows the Nissan to pass it completely and allows us to get up the inside into T1, and the rainbow car behind us is going to try and get through on the inside as well. The red car that we had to pass in last race, the hand pitted, runs wide and losing a lot of positions there on the outside, and we're already up to P6, already in front of where we started the first race, and we've still got plenty of cars in front of us from slower drivers, but there are quick drivers that have made their pit stops already and are running up much further back. You can see Sylvia again up behind BMW M1 here, running side by side with them now. Coming up to the hairpin, the BMW is going to try and hold around the outside, much more confident on the brakes, and sort of seeing this battle. I think right now is the time to be allowed and see if we can get better, clear our further further back down as we come out of the pit lane. It's gonna be tight here. Of course, we've got obliged to staying to the right hand side of the white line. We just get beat out by one car as we come out of the exit, which is a little bit annoying that we were looking for clear air and we haven't quite got it, but maybe this car will have more pace than us. We'll have to wait and see, but coming into the hotel section doesn't really look like it. We're really closing up on them on the brakes, and we're going to try and get that cutback move done, but we're not quite close enough. No, the opportunity's not quite there, but we don't want to take too long. You can see the bar traction closing in on the exit, using a bit better acceleration here to get alongside, and we're going to go for the inside. Good, try and take the inside with authority into the final corner. We run a little bit wide though on the exit, they go for the cutback and they do get alongside, so now it's going to be a drag race down towards turn 1. We've got another car in pit lane, but we're just about going to clear them as they're on pit exit. Still going to be side by side though into turn 1. We're much more confident on the brakes, and really so we get the place nice and easily as we head through turn 1, and now we have free air once more to try and push and try and get ourselves in front of those cars that haven't pitted yet. The car that was leading has came into the pits now as we're nearing the halfway point. As we go into turn 1, they're just about to be in front of us. They run a little bit wide, but we're not quite close enough to get in front of them. We have closed up though. We were about a second and a half back from them when we pitted. We're only half a second back now with them coming out of the pits, so we have gained about a second. So if we can get past this Porsche without losing too much time, we would be in the net lead of the race, I would say. So through the hotel section, the Porsche on a tight line here. We try and get the cutback. We get ourselves to the inside here. Good, try and get ourselves in front. Squeeze the Porsche on the exit. And we do take P11 without too much time loss. Porsche coming back a little bit into the hairpin much later on the brakes. But yeah, on the outside isn't quite able to make it work though. We'll have the slipstream, might have more acceleration. You can see it's closing and closing. We go to defend the inside. The Porsche decides, oh, they'll take the outside, and this is where we're starting to lose a little bit of time as we head down towards turn 1. We're still just about got a bit of overlap, so we're going to try and be a little bit later on the brakes and get the car back to the inside, and we get that move to work. And yeah, we get that clean air back again, but unfortunately we did lose a little bit of time there. As we head a little further on, the rain has got heavier once again, and we're starting to catch up to a couple of cars again that haven't pitted. Important here, we have lost a bit of time to the leader that has swapped around. Steve, he finished P2 in the first race, has taken lead. The only other car in the field that has 525 PI, but again, silver car really struggling with straight line speed once again, and we easily get past them. But we've got this red car in front of us again that we're gonna have to pass. So as we head through turn 1, it looks like it's gonna be a move in the hotel section once again. Of course, technical section isn't always easiest to make a move through here. We close in a lot in the braking zone. Unfortunately, that means we can't carry the momentum into the braking zone to make a late braking move. Also, the red car taking a tighter line, so defending the inside. So we're going to have to go around the outside this time of the two left-handers. Unfortunately, we do have the grip to do that. The red car gives us a little bit of a tap, puts us into a little bit of a slide, but we hold on and yeah, we carry on our way, but this time we're being chased down by the winner of the first race. So we have P2 in the lead of the race with Clean Air, P1 of the first race chasing us down a little more than half a second back. As we go into the final 3 laps of the race, they have caught onto our rear bumper, a little bit more straight line speed than us. They're looking to the outside of T1. We should have the grip to hold on here, but it's going to be difficult to hold on for these final 3 laps. As we head out of T1, we've got a little bit more traction, open up a little bit of a gap as we come into the hotel section. This is where we should be able to hold on. We have a little bit more grip, but still very important we get a good run through this section to hold on to any gap that we have. We need the gap as we go down start finish straight, otherwise the car will cleanly come past us. And it looks like the car is actually is very much keeping up with us through the hotel section. And as we come to the hairpin, you can see they're right on our rear bumper. We don't really have much of a gap at all, so very important to get a good exit here out of the final corner, which we do. We just open up a car length or 2, which could be crucial. They're in our slipstream once again. They're closing up again. We go to defend the inside as we get past another car that's making their pit stop. The car that was in the lead has also made their pit stop and it's come out 6 seconds in the lead. So we're definitely not winning this race. We still have one more car to pit that we should be able to get in front as they only have a 15-second lead. I think the pit loss here was about 26 seconds. But as we come into the hotel section, look how close the car behind is. They're all over our rear bumper in the braking zone, so we can't afford to make a mistake. Running a little bit deep here, that could open up an opportunity here. We know the cutback is very strong, so we're just making sure not to overdrive the Ginetta through the hotel section here, not to run wide and just leave the inside open for that car to sneak on through. We're about to go on to the final lap into the hairpin again, looking to the outside of that car, trying to open up the entry to this corner, but we still slightly tighter line, but we get the car slowed down, turned in nicely, straightened up and get a good exit, which just opens up that car length, which is very crucial, can make all the difference by the time we get to turn 1. As we're heading down, the car's gonna get in front, nearly clears over that, but we're just about alongside, and we keep it alongside in the brakes. The car leaves us plenty of space, very respectful there, and we just about can get the throttle on early enough to slide back in front. Holding on to P2 for now, and on the final lap we've opened up an extra car length or 2 than we did last lap, so if we keep it clean we should be able to hold on to P2 here. But yet nothing is ever easy. Just not making any mistakes is quite difficult. Holding a tight line again, making sure we don't open up an opportunity for a cutback here as we come out of the hotel section towards the final corner. Again, just holding the inside line. We've had a good traction out of the final corner, so we should be able to hold on here. And we slide a little bit wide, but looks like the car behind's got a much better run out of the final corner this time. Has stuck to the inside and got in front before the line. They'll out drag and take P2 from us out of the final corner, and we will have to settle for P3. Still good result, much sort of 5 places up where we qualified 12 places, 12 or 13 places up from where we started this race with the reverse graded podium. Very happy with that. That was some good racing in this round, and yeah, a lot of fun racing around here at a wet Yas Marina. That's how we're going to do it for this video. Thank you everyone very much for watching. Unfortunately, I'm not able to return for the remainder of the series. I have other commitments, so that will do it for now. But yeah, until next time, again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.